everyone, it's Kim here at Hancock Homesteading Gardens, and today it is Saturday, December the 24th, Christmas Eve. Now I'm going to be doing the Christmas Eve meal, and that's going to be the lasagna. Well, lasagna is really easy to make, but it takes a little time getting it all layered in. But the first thing you're going to need is a lasagna dish. And this one is a Pyrex lasagna dish. Lasagna dishes usually have taller sides. Alright, so the first thing I'm doing is, I don't know if you can hear or not, but I have water boiling in the stock pot back here. And I went ahead and started it boiling, and it has a little bit of salt in it to add a little bit of flavor. And I did go ahead and add the noodles. And I usually buy a big box of noodles, but I only use 12 of them because I do, I think, 4 layers of 3. So anyway, I went ahead and cooked 12. We'll see how far I get. And then I have a half a box of the noodles left to use later on. You're going to have to forgive me for sitting down during this, but I am tired. After doing that full meal yesterday and then all the visiting last night, and it was a great day. I had a blast cooking and being with my girls, and I had a blast being with my brother and sister. But I'm a little bit tired today, so I'm like, you know, I can do this sitting down. I'm going to sit down for a while. Okay, so yeah, so I have the noodles in, and they're cooking, and they cook, I think, for 10 minutes. It has on the back here, 10 minutes. And you can buy pre-cooked noodles for casseroles, but I've tried those, and I don't know. I just don't like them. They taste a little tough to me. And so I just go ahead and cook mine. It doesn't take that long. Okay, and so then the next thing I do is I take Pam and I spray my casserole dish because, like I've said in other videos, it just keeps your food from sticking, and then when it comes time for cleanup, it's so much easier, and you can't taste it. So, okay, so there's the Pam spray. Alright, and then the next thing I do is get my noodles off. Alright, so now I have everything ready to layer in. Okay, now those are pretty hot, so I'm going to kind of let those cool. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start out by layering a small dab of the tomato sauce on the bottom. And in this layer, I don't put meat because I want to save the meat for the middle part. And all you're doing with this is just kind of giving your noodles a nice bed of tomato sauce to rest on. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding the cheeses, and I like to use mozzarella cheese, cottage cheese, and if you're going, I don't like cottage cheese, don't worry, you can't really taste it. It just adds moisture to your lasagna so it doesn't taste so dry. And then ricotta cheese. Alright, so I'm going to start out by putting in a layer of noodles. Okay, so 1, 2, and this pan holds 3 across, and 3. Alright, so there's my first layer. Now I'm going to take the rest of my ragu and mix it in with my hamburger. And you don't have to worry that your ragu's not hot because obviously you're going to be cooking this. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's get these noodles up and out of the way. Get my sauce over here a little bit closer. Oh, I also use Parmesan. Alright. Here we go. Alright, and then I just cover up the noodles with the sauce. And you want to make sure that your noodles are all the way covered up, or else they will get very dry and they don't taste so good. All right, spread that out a little bit. All right, there we go. Now, as soon as I have the sauce, then I start adding the cheeses, and I usually start with the cottage cheese. And I just start dabbing out of the way so you can see. I just start putting dabs. You don't even have to spread it out, okay? What I think about is that when I slice this, I'm going to be slicing it into squares. And so I just think, okay, I want a dab of this in each of the squares. So that's kind of what I think is where would I be cutting this so that it would be cut it into squares. And because it will be cooking and bubbling, it's going to spread itself out. So okay, and then I do a little bit along the edge up at the top and at the bottom. All right. Okay, and then the next cheese to add is the ricotta. And once again, all I do is I just take a dab, and I usually have to use both fingers for this because this is thicker. So I just take a dab and I just put it on top of the cottage cheese. And once again, I'm thinking, okay, if I cut this into squares, I want to make sure each square has the cheese. So that's what I'm thinking. Plus, like I said, as it cooks, it's going to melt and spread itself out. And if you want to go back with the ricotta and kind of fill in some of the empty spots, that's okay. But the main goal is to make sure that each of your square pieces are going to have cheese in them. I mean, obviously it's not cut now, but you know, you can kind of foresee how it's going to be cut. Okay. There we go. We like a lot of cheese. I think that's probably why the girls like my lasagna, is because I do add a lot of cheese. And a lot of times you'll have goop left over, you know, because you'll have more sauce cheese mixture than you do the noodles, but we just use Ritz crackers and finish it up. So okay, and then after you get those cheeses on, then you are going to put on your mozzarella. And the mozzarella I just put over the whole thing. Like so. All right, and then I'm ready to start layer 2. All right, now another layer of noodles. We are on our 3rd layer. there's that layer. Now, last layer. Yeah. See, I'm getting full, but I can get on one more layer because all of your top layer is it's 3 more noodles. Sorry. 3 more noodles. The rest of your sauce. Be a thin layer. You want to make sure it's covered so your noodles don't get hard and crisp, but it doesn't have to be a thick layer. Alright. Now, if you are like me and you kind of misjudged and you don't have quite enough of the sauce to go on top, but you need to get your noodles covered, take your jar, put just a little bit of water in them. You got a little bit of sauce around that lid too. Shake, shake, shake all that extra sauce out of there. Alright, and then you just pour that on top, because this top layer, all you're wanting to do is cover up those noodles that are showing through. Last layer, or this is your last layer. Okay, this is the last layer. You put your noodles and your sauce, and then your last thing, the mozzarella cheese. And see, it's overflowing, but it'll be alright. It'll cook down. Alright, look at that. Now spread that cheese over. It will melt, so you don't have to worry about how thin it is, because it's going to melt together. This layer is where I add the Parmesan, and I just open it up, and then I just give it a real heavy dose, a real heavy sprinkle of the Parmesan all the way across, like so. Alright, and then I take and put this on a cookie sheet. Because most of my stuff bubbles over, so I always try to put it on a lined cookie sheet. And I have preheated my oven at 350. Okay. I'm going to take my lasagna, stick it on my cookie sheet. Then, because I don't want it to burn, because your cheese will get really brown, I put another layer over the top. Now, when I put it over the top, I do what they call tinting. I don't want my aluminum foil sticking to the cheese, so I do what they call tinting. All right, let's get this in the oven. It'll keep your cheese from burning. Alright, so I'm going to be cooking at 350 for about an hour and 15 minutes, or an hour and a half, but you just kind of have to watch it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this vlog up. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to know more about our homestead and what we do on it, please subscribe. I will try to share some of our get-together tonight. I want to respect people's privacy and see how much they're going to allow me to do. But if they're okay with it, I'm going to share a little bit. So look for that in a different video.